sure?
You're welcome to Popcorn, the life of Modenine.
Popcorn. Whether you're working in an office, or you're an artist, or you're working on a radio station, yep, you always have haters. A man with no haters is a man who is not perceived as a threat. Is a man content to stay in the same place, being stagnant for 21 years, doing nothing, having no ambition, which is a very bad thing. So, moving along, talked about the shows that we did, QuestionMark, but yeah, every good thing has to end. Or was it really good? Okay, so I was talking to Silver on the phone one day and he was like, Mode, read your contract. Around this time, Benga was already kicked out of QuestionMark. So the QuestionMark, like, believe it or not, I even have a song about this situation for all you young artists. If you're stuck in a contract, you can't just jump and say, I don't wanna be in this contract anymore. You signed it. So you have to find a clever way to get out of it without all the, because it can take a lot out of you. It can change your whole, your whole steez. It can change your whole steez in the industry, how people perceive you, So you have to be clever. You have to wriggle out, slither out like a snake. So Silver told me to read my contract. But I was like, but this big English and everything. I had a friend who was a lawyer, but he was always posting me up and down. So one day, right, I took the contract. I called Sage Hassan, my spoken word maestro. And I was like, yo, Sage, man, let's go through this thing. So we read it. Now, for all those that don't know, the QuestionMark contract was a 12-year contract. So me signing in 2000, and I think I signed in 2005, right? I would have been out in 2017. Jesus. Okay, but this is how, like, I told you guys that in one of the episodes that I just signed it. I didn't even really read it because I believe that if anything wants to happen, God was going to yank me out of it. So we read it, and it was the initial term is 2 years, right? So what we signed, they use fancy English to say, you're going to sign an initial term, and after initial term, 5 separate albums. And each album has the same duration as the initial term. So 5 albums with each album having the same duration as the initial term. As 5 albums means initial term is 2 years. So 5 albums is 10 years plus 2 years. And that's 12 years altogether. But there was a clause in the contract that says, after the initial term, the label has to write the artist saying, okay, we want to work with you. Give us a new contract. They have to give you a new contract for the other 5 remaining albums. So, failure to do so means the label is not interested in working with you. So I guess I was out of a label officially out of a label in 2007. And this was I think this was 2008. This was 2008, yeah. Because there was a whole period where everything was just QuestionMark. It was just everybody was just doing their own thing. There was a whole period, but we were still signed. But if you go do shows, like for the other guys, when they go do shows, they get people calling them like, hey, where's our money? Because it was still a label, but they weren't really 100% active for the artists. Like I said, I'm not trying to, drag anybody's name in the mud, but this is how it happened, man. And somebody has to tell the story. So, yeah. Read the contract and we're like, oh, so the label hasn't gotten back to us. And I think it was August 5th or something, August 9th or 5th. So I was like, listen, since August 2007, I've been a free agent. So I just chilled. I just laughed. I was happy. Because I remember back in the day when QuestionMark used to do their meetings. We used to do meetings, I think, every Wednesdays. Like the directors will sit down and meet with the artists. But guess what those meetings were really? They were roasting sessions. They were roasting sessions, man. They used to roast the artists, man. Like, you, look at you don't know how to move on stage. You don't know. Yeah, you gotta be on point. Yeah. All those, they were just roasting. But I wasn't really at the end of the stick. They didn't really used to roast me because I came into QuestionMark with a project under my belt. I had experience with other labels. Shout out to Payback Time Records. The thing about Solo D is that Solo D did not even. He just told me, yo, Mo, go do. He just wanted the best for me, so he just said, go do your thing. He could have just said, yo, Modenine is legally signed to me. I don't want Modenine to da. He could have done that. He could have been petty, but he didn't. He just said, go do your thing. That's why till tomorrow, I respect Solo D. 100%. People complain that, why are you always mentioning Solo D? Because respect is earned. And if it wasn't for Solo D, I probably won't be doing this. You guys wouldn't have even heard of Modenine. So, yeah, like I said, the roasting sessions and everything, thinking back, it's kind of really bad. It's demoralizing for the artists when they're always roasting you, making you feel that you can't do stuff, like you're not doing enough. When you're putting in your best, man, and you're not really getting much out of it, you're just getting the hype, you're getting the name, but you're still jumping Okada, flying Okada and jumping on Molue. So there was a time, there's this particular story, right? Like, this was one of those days that I felt really hurt. Like, I was, man, like, this guy really tried one, man. He tried it. So, around the time when I had, some free time on my hands, I think I'd recorded, I was recording E Pluribus Unum, but, then I'll come and say, I want to use the session this day. So the studio wasn't always free. We had to just arrange when we would go to the studio, do one song or two songs. So it wasn't always free. And I was like eager to just record stuff. So I was like, listen, I'm going to record a project with Jonah the Monarch. QuestionMark was against it, but I was like, man, I just want to do it, man. Just like, okay, I told them it's going to be a mixtape. It's not going to be the album. And they were like, okay, just to keep myself busy, okay, do it. So I was recording and I was going in. I was writing bars and just spitting like, I was on fire. Like, I didn't want that fire to just, So I was just going to Jonah's place at Mopo 20. Sometimes jumping Moluel, entering Moluel, man. I know sent. Get to Mopo 20, that's in Ikeja. I was living at Alaka Estate with them MGB. Shout out to Thoroughbreds. MGB, that's the brain behind, for those who don't know, that was one of the brains behind Thoroughbreds, man. The guy that nobody really talks about, but I was there, so I saw how the guy really, really, really influenced the other guys in Thoroughbreds. He was an intelligent guy too. So I'll enter Boss, Kumbi Boss, or this thing, or Mulwe, sometimes Okada, to go to Mopo 20. That's where Jonah had his little studio in one room. Sometimes I'll meet some boys there recording. I'll wait. Like Stipe Miocic. I'll wait. I'll just be outside waiting, chilling. That was in 2006. This was in 2006 though. We're taking it back a bit. So I recorded tracks, spitting bars. The bars are crazy. They're different from E Pluribus Unum was an album where I wanted to make an album because Kevin, like I told you guys some episodes back, Kevin came to me and he was like, Mo, please make an album that I can sell. And I was like, man, word, dog, say no more. I got this. So I was not trying to spit, I can rap better than you, just spit lyrical, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't that type of album, even though there are a couple of songs like that on that album, but I was trying to do something different. So the Pentium IX album was the album that I was like, was a mixtape that I was just going in. So when I recorded, I think I finished it. So I burnt it on a CD and I gave one to Kevin, 2 CDs, gave one to Kevin, one to Benga. So now this is where the plot thickens. So one day we're in the studio. Now there's a guy called Cyborg. He's like he's like the protection. He's like the muscle. Like anybody gets out of line, Cyborg, you know, but I was cool with Cyborg. Me and Cyborg, we got along, you know. We're all cool with Cyborg. Cyborg never laid hands on any of us, but you know, he would just say, hey, no, they talk like that, you know. So guess what? We're just sitting down and Benga's listening to Pentium IX, and guess what he says? He just hits the table, bam! No way! There's no way, Modenine, you did not write these lyrics. It's impossible. You didn't write these lyrics. You must have stolen these lyrics from somewhere. Ain't nobody rapping like this. I managed American artists. I've been doing this. I managed UGO. I did this, I did that. There's no way you wrote these lyrics. And Kevin was just there, smiling. Like Benga used to always do some crazy slick brouhaha every now and then. So while he was saying that, I just kept quiet. I think I hadn't finished the album, right? I hadn't finished the album then, Pentium IX. I think it remained like a couple of tracks. So what nobody knows is, after him accusing me of biting lyrics and stealing my lyrics, right? After him doing that, right? I went back to the studio, and in one of the songs on Pentium IX, I dissed him. Yeah. How the hell we gonna be playing for the same team and you gonna be trying to shut me down just so that you can make yourself look good? Because I was shining amongst my peers. Everybody was feeling me like, oh, this is fire, woo! And then you come and you start making all these allegations. Like, I'm like, dude, man, what's wrong with you? Did you forget to take your meds? And that wasn't the only time Benga went, you know, that crazy on me, man. That wasn't the only time. I'll tell you what happened one time like this, right? There was a time when I recorded, yes, your QuestionMark, there's one song, but it didn't make the album because I intentionally just left that track out of the album. Nobody even asked questions. I think Cobans had already left, so the track was there on the system, but I didn't even want them to put that track. QuestionMark, when I say question, you say mark. QuestionMark. So we recorded that track, right? Everybody was feeling it. Everybody. I think Benga traveled to England for like 2 weeks, and he came back, and then Kevin was so proud. He was like, Benga, listen to this track. And they played it for Benga. When I say question, he said, and then the bars and everything. Woo! The bars on fire. Benga just looks. He just looks. Stop it. No. Cobams was there. No. Modenine, I need you to do this verse again. Do it again. This is not, no. This is not the Modenine. I need the feelings to come out. I mean, this guy was going in on me, man. And you know what? As a wise guy, you just chill. Because I studied this guy. I know this guy. I just chilled. And I told Cobams, all right, we'll do it again. No problem. Benga, we'll do it again. Cool down. We'll do it again. Yeah. Okay, he now calmed down. Yeah, you gotta do it again. You gotta be on point. Yeah. Ask Silver Sadi about, you gotta be on point. Yeah, he does it better than me. So the next morning, right, all Cobams did was he just added some compression because we played him in a mixed song, for goodness sake. He just added some compression and he did something to the, EQ'd the vocals a bit. Then we called Benga into the studio and we played it for him and he was like, yeah, this is it. Yeah. You just have to know how to deal with people, man. It was just a crazy time. Back then, some super weird stuff was just going on and cooler heads prevailed. So I always found a way around certain people's weird behavior. And that's just how it was. So for me to keep my mental health stable, write music, choose beats, and deal with all the BS around me and, rehearse for shows, it was tough. People think that, being an artist, you just, wait for shows and just jump around, spend 5 minutes on stage, get paid, and then go chill with some honeys. No. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of times where you're just super frustrated. You feel that you're not going forward, you're not going backwards, you're just in the same place, even though you're on a label that's supposed to be, it. But hey, man, we kept it moving, man. We kept it moving. Popcorn. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.